idiots. I know it's really bad on my side, but well, hopefully they'll be lost of it. So Joby was gone quickest with a 28.3. He scored a podium back at Hungary, taking off Sieb, who was on those, I think it was the medium compound tyres, I believe it was, where the others were on the hards. But Tony's been disqualified. He has a qualifying ban apparently, so that's why he's disqualified himself. So that's he's going to be started down in last place is the Argentinian, and let's see what he could do from there. So he did set a lap time but has disqualified himself, so hopefully that will count as a another qualifying ban, but we'll see. I'm just trying to find a stream, so apologies about this one. It's not going well whatsoever. Am I even live? Yeah, I am live, it's just not popping up on the YouTube channel, so I'm just trying to find it as quick as I can, so I continue. But Cross Liam Choye are here tonight, as well as Nelly Safu, who is back in Tier 1. Nice to see him back making an appearance here. We've still got people that haven't set a lap time further down the field, including Peas, but he's currently on a lap time. So let's see what he can do in the Alpine. His teammate Ferg is up into P5 with ILT Kenny setting some decent pace and only a few tenths away, well, a few hundreds away from Sweetcrown in P3. So that's a amazing lap time there from ILT Kenny. But we're about to see what the RP driver of Peas could do. Peas and Ferg, an amazing lineup in my opinion. And let's see what the RP driver could do with their home Grand Prix as they cross the line now. It's a 29.0. Pops his RP just behind Nathan as well, who's currently in P6, but about to improve his lap time to P3 ahead of Sweetcrown, the man who beat him to victory at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Nathan on his third attempt here in CRL, trying to go for his first win since Jeddah last season. Well, Brazil, what can he do in that Williams? Williams has been looking decent so far, 2 podiums in a row, but can they convert it to a victory? As importantly to be looking for that as well. Leo in P19 making an appearance as well in the Aston Martin. So he's currently invalidated his lap time and ran out of fuel for good measure too. So a long lap back to the pits then for him. But as things settle down now, we can finally have a look at what's going on in this qualifying session. So Julby currently putting that AlphaTauri on pole position with a 28.3. I don't believe Julby has won a race this in his league racing career so far here in CRL. So he's currently on pole. He's had a few decent qualifying results, but unfortunately on the first lap, that's when the chaos has happened, and he's been involved in that chaos too. So looking to make amends after that, and also having a good podium finish at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Let's see if he can capitalise on his good form so far and try and get a win. ILT Leroy has had some decent qualifying results, but in terms of race pace, he just needs to string it all together to try and get the best result he can, because we know he's got it in him, but unfortunately he has these mistakes or just loses pace. Like at the Canadian Grand Prix, I remember him qualifying quite high, but elsewhere he's also qualified really high up the standings, but just can't convert it into that victory unfortunately, or on the podium it seems. So he'll be looking to get his first podium since seasons and seasons ago. That's how long it's been. And I believe that was a post-race penalty too, that someone got demoted down the field, and therefore he was able to claim a podium. So 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in this qualifying. We'll see if anybody can beat Jobu's time. Currently, the German driver in P1, ILT Crossliam, is currently out there in the Haas. Doesn't look like he's on a flying lap, judging by his CRS status, so he must have turned it off somewhere, maybe made a mistake somewhere. Ideally, you don't want to do 2 laps on the same set of soft compound tyres around here. We'll go watch Bompia, who's currently in P9, heading through turn 1 and turn 2, as we can finally watch a full lap without me muting myself or the stream ended. So as we head down into turn 3, flicking in at the 50 meter, we'll clip the apex, ride the curve through turn 4, now coming to the slow speed corners of turn 5 and turn 6. You want to be very careful of traction through here, because it can catch a lot of people out. And a lot of people do tend to lose the back end through there too. As we head onto the all-important straight, is pivotal because there's a DRS zone immediately as soon as you exit that fast left-hander. Now we're coming to the dual chicane, braking really hard as we take the inside curb and once again ride the curve through here. Back in the car, wanted to complain as he rides over the curb at the exit of turn 10. And this is where we come out to the flat-out corner. This is turn 10 actually, the last corner was turn 9, so apologies about that. Flat out, losing speed, but gaining back immediately. We've got a car in the way that looks like an Alfa Romeo, who's in Bob Pierce ways. He takes a tight line through there, a wider line. The back of the car wants to complain yet again as we head into the left-hander with 2 cars ahead of Bob here, so hopefully it doesn't put too much of effect on his turbulent air as we head through the double left-hander there. Both AlphaTauris or Aston Martins have invalidated their lap time, and there's a Red Bull ahead of us, and that Red Bull is not getting out of the way because he's currently started his lap, so the worst place to catch, but Bob Pierre won't be happy as he crosses the line to go P8. Who is that Red Bull? It's not Sweet Cloud, it's Nelly Safu who got in Bob Pierre's way as he heads through turn 2, so he's invalidated already, so yeah, that's a double blow there. Might pick up a penalty for blocking in the last corner, but didn't see Bob Pierre arriving on the scene as we got both Alfa Romeos currently going for a flying lap. LT Leroy coming through the first sector as AJ ended the first sector almost 3/10 up, so that's quite a lot of time to be gained, especially in the first sector alone. Can he keep up this momentum? Because I know in the last few seasons around here in France, he's been involved in the top 4 or 5 for the lead twice. Seasons 6 and 7 I believe it is. He's quite handy around France, as I've seen it back in Formula X. But what can he do in this middle sector? Is it going to be an improvement for him? Yes, he does. Only a few hundreds found in the middle sector as he makes his way through turn 10, flat out corner, carrying the speed. Now through turn 11 and turn 12. There's double right-hander here and taking a wider edges to get slingshot exit as we head into this left-hander then. Use the brakes to rotate the car, the back control immediately using all the exit as you want to get away with, without running of course. Now coming through this double left-hander. Very easy in this final corner to get it on because you pick up the throttle too early. The back of the car will be stepping out. Massive wheel spin as ILT Leroy is in the pit lane and he's retired too as AJ goes 5th place. He found a lot of time in that last sector alone and it's P5 as a result then. So Leroy can't challenge Dual Beam. Nathan can't because he's 2/10 down. I believe qualifying's ended too. Dual Beam has invalidated on his lap time. He won't be improving. Sweet Crown is coming towards massive oversteer there as he hit the inside curb and he backs out of it. So it's P4 for best for Sweet Crown. He knows he can't improve, but what about the finish driver of ILT Kenny? He crossed the line now and he's going to be P6 only. He does improve, but only to P6. Relentless Ferg in P7 won't be improving. CPI Troye, who makes a return to code, is currently in P9 as his Ferrari teammate just replaced him there. As P's coming towards the line now, 9,000's down in that middle sector, but can he improve in the final sector? Yes, he can actually, by 2/10 in that final sector. So had a bit of time towards the end of it, but there is qualifying then. I do apologise for restarting the stream and early on in the qualifying too when I muted myself, but hopefully there'll be no more problems and we can get racing. There is qualifying. Dual Beam is currently on pole position ahead of ILT Leroy, who's on the front row. Nathan in P3, Sweet Clown in 4th place ahead of AJ, Kenny 6th place ahead of both Alpine 7th and 8th. They were 7th and 8th back at the Hungarian Grand Prix, but unfortunately things happened at a turn 1 where Pizarro broke himself and lost the rear of the car, and Ferg was just involved in that contact too, no fault of his own. Both Ferraris in P9 and P10 with CPI Touré ran off the top 10, Reservoir in 11th ahead of Bompier 12th, Julian in 13th place ahead of Nelly Safu, Chazza 15th, Bosch Evans 16th, Taupe 17th, Crossliam 18th, both Aston Martins 19th and 20th, and we never saw the Romanian driver get a lap time in. Was ILT Leo, but he's joined to V10, so good luck on your new team, Leo, but I can't wait to see what the race has in store for us tonight. Good to be a new winner of the season because the last 2 races have been won by Walter, as he's currently on good form like he was last season, but we'll see if anybody can challenge the Dutchman and take victory away from him as we head into the race. There is a formation lap. I've got to remember which leagues have and do not have a formation lap, because I do tend to get confused, so hesitate before we get into the session. But let's see the tyre compounds, and unsurprisingly, there are no soft compound tyres being used in this race. Not surprised, it's a really horrible tyre around here, hards and mediums, but there are only about 4 hard runners, which include Chazza, Tope, Crossliam and AJ, who's going for a different approach in this race. Me and him starts with the hard compound tyres, so he knows what it's like to race around here. He thinks the medium tyres are the better way to go, but we'll see if safety cars play a factor in this race and change the whole trajectory, and could play into his hands or not. But I can't wait to see what this race has in store for us. So, recalling the grid, Dual Beam is on pole position for AlphaTauri. Can he get his first win of the season and in his career league racing in CRL? ILT Leroy, this man's got some decent qualifying pace, we've seen it before, but needs to convert it into a race win or a podium at least. Nathan in P3 looking for the 3rd time in a row to try and get a race win. Sweet Crown going for his 3rd win in a row this season, as he's called in the championship leader. AJ in P5 on the medium compound tyres. I thought he had decent pace in Hungary, but I think he got caught up in some melee. Kenny in P6 there, struggled at the Hungarian Grand Prix, but I believe he finished inside the top 10 if I'm not mistaken. Both Alpines, who is 7th and 8th as the McLaren splits them. I think that's Kenny who's just dropped into the Alpine sandwich at the French GP. Kenny, who's I talk about P's, yeah, I've got involved in the first lap, first corner contact with ILT Frank. Ferg, unfortunately, innocent bystander as a constitutive effect. ILT Sieb, last week's pole setter, currently down in P9. CPI Troye, fighting with Orvaden 2 seasons ago. He's a handy driver, is CPI Troye, the Swedish driver, who is very quick on his day. As Pease and Dual Beam have been disqualified, Reservoir can have decent pace from time to time. We've got Bob P, who's 12th ahead of Julian, Nelly Safu, Chaz at 15 plays on the medium compound of tyres. Bosch Evans in P16, and Tope, Crossliam, Leo and Pyro fill out the rest of the grid as we head off to the race. The lights are on then, as I need to look at the front of the field, not at the back. You can see Joe being well out of place there. Could that compromise him? As the lights are away for the 3rd race of the season, ILT Leroy versus Dual Beam. 2 behind him, and Nathan and Sweet Card going side by side as we head down into turn 1. ILT Leroy takes the lead of the race, and Nathan in the first corner, and Sweet Card have made contact, and they both spun already in the first corner. As he tries to go down the inside, he took out Sweet Card. There's more contact with Nelly Safu and CRL Bompier. Major drama going on in the first opening lap of this race. I think Nathan tried to go down the inside into turn 1, not enough space, they took out Walton with him, unfortunately, as more drivers built the field. Kenny's in P4, AJ is right behind Dual Beam on those medium compound tyres. ILT Leroy 1.3 seconds ahead of Dual Beam. As you can see, we've got Ferrari versus Alpine, AJ up the inside of Dual Beam into P2, he goes. CPI Troye versus P's as they go wheel to wheel in turn 9, bit of contact. CPI Troye has to go off the track and settles in behind P's. Pyro has gained 10 places already on the first lap of this race. Incredible. And Bosch Evans is there too, had to bail out the throttle as CPI Chazza slips around the outside. We've got Tope coming around the outside too. I believe Bosch Evans just lost 3 places there, unfortunately for him, as he drops down into P13. So that's one way to win a race. Take out Speed Clown. I'm only kidding, but here he is. Oh, that was so close to contact with Crossliam as he carries more speed through the corner. So, let's hope Nathan and Speed Cloud don't have any damage, and they've got a lot of work to do on the first lap. Look at that, it's an Alfa Romeo 1-2. And Speed Cloud goes up the inside on the final corner, and here comes Nathan too. So they're back together again, but hopefully when they fight next time, they don't come into contact, and we'll see. This is going to be an amazing race. Hopefully not in the circumstances I want it, but they're going to have to make their way through the field. We love to see recovery drives, don't we? We've got Thomas coming up the inside of Crossliam, who's lost 3 places. Has he got damage? Yes, he has. So he has pitted. He has decided to stay out there on a broken end plate, which is not good around here in France, especially when you need to downforce in the first and third sets. But here we are on the straight. We've got a yellow flag. That's Sieb, who's dropping down the order. Had a great race back at the Hungarian Grand Prix, but now he's spun coming out of turn 4 and he rejoins down in P20, aka last place. So AJ has brought the gap down under a second. As we know, he's on the medium compound tyres. Are they both in a party? Well, quite a lot of these boys on a party with each other, so might be working together. Keep it at 1-2 like I did with AJ in Formula X race. But this should be an interesting race. Chaz has gained a few positions. Tobe has as well in P11, or Tobe I must say. But here we are then. IRT Leroy leads the French GP. I believe he was leading the Canadian Grand Prix a season or two ago. But he's got AJ for company now on those fresher, better medium compound tyres. The mid-range tyres, of course, which will be very good at this stage of the race, as the hards will cross over soon a few laps later. Nelly Safu also spawned on the first lap of the race as well. But looks like Nathan and Sweet Cloud have got away damage free. So let's hope they can come back through the field. And we'll see if they can make a good recovery drive out of this. We head down into turn 1. DRS has been enabled for the first time in this race too, as Pease has set the fastest lap of this race. We see them all in a big DRS trade all the way from first down to 14th place, with Sweet Cloud trying to join the back of it. As we all sweep through the first sector then in these twisty first few corners in this first sector. Be very careful on traction indeed. ERS management will be key in this race too. Who is sufficient enough at managing the ERS will play a big factor, especially towards the end of the race too. We might see some people play the DRS chicken, as here comes AJ up the inside of his teammate Leroy. That's just a swap there, so he takes the lead of this race then on the medium compound tyres. I think he started down in PA, he started down in P5. I wasn't going to say that, but I want to say something about it just in case I said it, because I thought he started in P10, but he's up there in P1. Pyro from last is up into P9, 11 places in 3 laps. But we get harder and harder as the DRS train will start to form, as Bosch Evans has overtaken Taupe into this fast right-hander here. Into turn 13 we go. And now we're headed through 14. As he rear locks the brakes, he's sliding. And he almost spun the car too for good measure, but managed to save it on the exit. Takes out Bollard with him, with Leo looking to gain some places too after starting down in P19. It is a difficult corner in turn 13 there. Played too much centre Corsa there. I don't think that'll make too much of a difference, as the boys love to play a centre Corsa. I tried to, but unfortunately I'm on a PS4, not on a PS5. Taupe has overtaken Bosch Evans for P11, and they've dropped themselves out of the DRS train then, so not good whatsoever, especially for Taupe's sake on those medium compound tyres, looking to slice his way through the field. But currently we've got AJ leading, and as Pyro has picked up a 3-second time penalty already on lap 4. DRS will be enabled then, so let's see if there's any swaps here. As we can see, Dual Beam versus Leroy then, both applying the ERS. They might go 3 abreast as we head down into dual chicane. And we see Dual Beam on the inside and AJ on the outside, with Leroy in the middle as they all get out unscathed there. A bit of contact between ILT Leroy and Dual Beam and P2, but however they get out unscathed. I think Ferg has overtaken Kenny, which he has, moves himself up into P4. Talk about Ferg, I think he had a podium a few seasons ago around here at the French GP. Look at AJ looking to capitalise, as you can see there, they're all bunched up. Both Alfa Romeos guys side by side. They can't afford to make contact in this particular part of the section here, especially when they were 1-2 as well. We've got Dual Beam trying to go around the outside of Leroy, keeping his car on the outside there. Better contact too, as he almost had to go off the track, but Leroy gives him just enough space. We head towards the penultimate corner. Now is the final corner. They remain side by side, with Dual Beam having the inside line. Into the final corner we go, as they squeeze each other off the road there, as Leroy then used the ERS as they're still side by side as we head on to lap 5. Let's see who gets out ahead in turn 1. Leroy wisely backs out of this one. Might see this all race long. I think Ferg, yep, made a mistake in turn 1, cut the corner in turn 2. Might have picked himself up a warning, so can't afford to do that more than twice, otherwise that is a penalty, and it's very costly as well, especially with all these guys being so close together. Incredible action going on so far in the field, as ILT Leroy was forced to overtake his teammate. Ideally would have loved to use each other's DRS, but here comes Dual Beam then on the back of AJ, looking to retake the lead of the race. Leo gets ahead of Taupe, into P11 he goes, And Sweet Cloud now gets ahead of Tobe, so he's lost 2 places there. Has the AlphaTauri as the Red Bull's looking to come back through the field. Nathan's dropped down into P16. So I wonder what's happened to him, unless Sweet Cloud's just made his way up to the field. I don't think nothing's happened to Nathan yet. Well, look at that, you can see the grip that AJ has on those medium compound tyres. Could be suffering a bit with overheating too around this track. See, Sweet Clown is just outside the DRS range of Leo, who's currently trying to pursue Chazza on those medium compound tyres. Worst place for Chazza to be in this DRS train in P10, just can't overtake whatsoever. But here comes Jewel Beam. Into turn 1 he goes, and he takes the lead of the race as Leo has set the fastest lap of this race then, interestingly. So what will both Alfa Romeos do now, I wonder, in P2 and P3? Just use each other as DRS and just try and slingshot past each other. There's Pyro all over the back there of the Ferrari of CPI Troy. Just behind us is Tony. We know Tony and Troy's had some decent fights in the past too. As we come onto the long straight once again then, with ILT Leroy having the DRS on the back of AJ, and Kenny has re-overtaken Ferg. He moves himself back into P4, does he? Yes he does, as we head into the heavy braking zone at turn number 8. Julian and Sweet Clown swapping places there, P12 and P13. I think Sweet Clown catching the Dutchman and overtaking him, but couldn't quite pull it off, so he has to stay behind him for the time being. But will he get a good run coming out the corner up the hill towards turn number 10? And Toby's dropping down the order. I think he's off the track now, so I'm not quite sure what's happened to him in the AlphaTauri. Might be struggling a bit with grip there as Julian, and Julian's lost his wing, and that is a safety car, interestingly. So how on earth has he done that? I'm not quite sure, but was the contact between himself and Sweet Clown? Pease is in the pit lane. Were some of the drivers not able to pit because they were past the safety car? As Bosch Evans gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So we see some drivers in the pits go for a 2-stop from hard, medium, medium. That will be the way to go for those drivers who pitted. Pease is on the soft compound tyres, so going for an aggressive strategy on them set of softs. I presume he's saving a set of mediums later for the race. It's Jewel Beam. Oh my goodness me, can this man's luck get any worse? He's just been disqualified from this race and unfortunately is out. Scoring a podium back at the Hungarian Grand Prix. His luck, it just gets worse and worse, unfortunately. So the first safety car has appeared due to the incident with who is it now? I'm trying to think. I think it was Julian who went off the track and lost his wing. So I don't think AJ was able to come in the pit lane. Was he past the safety car? Because that white line, you can't cut the white line, remember? So I think these guys were already in the final corner, hence why they didn't go in the pit lane. But we'll see if it pays dividends. Pease in P7 is on a brand new set of the soft compound tyres, and the rest of them have gone for new mediums except Hope, who is on the hard. So this could be an interesting phase in this race now, where those guys with fresher tyres will slice their way through the field. Stick difference indeed. The whole trajectory and phase has been changed. I think the guys who've pitted have made the right call, as they'll pit again to go on the medium compound tyres, because you get 2 sets in your disposal depending which tyre strategy you've chosen in the race, or before the race, or even before qualifying. That's when you make your tyre choice. Could this bring Sweet Cloud and Nathan back into play after making contact in the first corner? And somebody has pitted. Chazza has gone to the pit lane too. A bit of a late call there from Chazza. Bosch Evans is in the pit lane to get rid of his 5-second time penalty as he picked it up, so might as well serve it now. It's a league race, mate, Gabriel. It's not a tournament, it's a league race. Every Thursday and every Monday from 7:30 to 8:15. There's different tiers in this league too. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 and Tier 4. We've been running this league since 2020. And this is season 10 now. Brand new season, third race in at the British GP, last two with the Hungarian Grand Prix and in Saudi Arabia. Bosch Evans unfortunately rejoins down into P19 and Chazas gave away chap position as he now heads on to a brand new set of hards. Could he take them towards the end? We'll see. But if he does take them towards the end, the guys in the mediums who will pit later on might gain a massive advantage on him. So, Pyro P5 was in the back of this DRS train. Surprised he didn't pit actually, because the guys ahead of him did. He's opted to stay out there, but could this be detrimental to his race? Take a short break and I'll be back momentarily. Gabriel, if you're still here, rewind a few seconds back as I did explain what this league, is all about. I do believe the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, so it wasn't much of a short break, but we could get back to racing action once again, and we'll see what happens in the second phase in this race. Those guys who pitted, will it play? Will it be an absolute masterclass for those guys who pitted? Carving their way through the field on the fresher tyres. Here we are racing once again. Oh, Ferg, a bit of a slide on going in the final corner then, but we get racing once again then. And we'll see what will happen at the safety car restart. Will those guys who pitted blast their way through the field? I'm starting to lose interconnection, so apologies about that one as we head down into turn 1 and into turn 2 there. P's on a brand new set, I think on the soft compound tyres, gets a decent run on Tony. He won't send it down the inside on this occasion, too far back to do so, but he has to capitalise on those soft compound tyres. And here he is up the inside, then pulls that into turn 5. And he makes the move stick as Tony is off the track. I don't think P's forced off the track, he just went off the track himself as he moves himself up into P5. CPI Troye follows through immediately to stay with P's in P6. He's the highest media runner in P6 in a brand new set. Reservoir and Pyro going side by side now as Tony breaks later, as Reservoir is still there on the inside into this corner, but with better grip, better traction, immediately moves himself up, and unfortunately for Tony is dropping backwards. As you can see, both Alpines swapping positions. That's a no-brainer there as P's is on a brand new set of soft compound tyres, and here we are. Troye's got up the inside, I think it's turn 11, which he is. That was horrible camera angle there, but get it back immediately. And a few more squabbles going further behind with Sweet Crown versus Leo. That is, Leo goes up the inside, bit of contact too for good measure. And, oh, we spun! And he will go off into the wall because, yeah, oh, there's 3 cars. 3 cars have joined each other in the barrier. Unfortunately there, Leo was just tagging the rear of Sweet Crown. And that's the second spin for Sweet Crown as P is up into P3 now. Look at Troye, looking to capitalise too on those VD compound tyres. He's up into P4. Oh, does he try and fancy a move? That's a bit optimistic there. But P's out of shape in turn 2, but collects the car. Bomb PA, what's going on here? Then we've got Steve off the track there. We've got Aston Martin who's spun, I think, at turn 2. So quite a few squabbles going on. And Julian, the one that caused the safety car, benefited from this, and P11 on a brand new set of those BD compound tyres. They're moving his way up the field, but look at P's there, right to the back of Leroy. Should be taking candy from a baby. How long did those soft compound tyres last for? About 7 or 8 laps on their peak. As Red Supply Kenny swap positions as P's lays the brakes into turn 8. Nothing Leroy could do about it, just accept it. And he goes up into P2. Now it's AJ's turn. Potential win for P's. If he does win this race, I'll be very happy for him. Been quite a while since P's has won a race. As Troye and Leroy now swap positions. They go side by side into turn 10 we go. wheel to wheel, but Troyer knows medium compound tyres with better grip as Leroy hangs on there. You can look at that, you can see Pease up the inside into turn 12. He takes the lead of the race. And now he's in P1, he'll control this race, but how long can those soft compound tyres hang in there? Bear in mind though, he'll definitely pit again to go on the brand new set of medium compound tyres. Unusual to see Speedcrine in those type of incidents, but Nathan is back down in P18 as well, so he's also suffered at the safety car restart. So something, I think it was the second Williams that got involved. That's the second time Nathan and Speedcrine have made contact. As they all went to the wall together, I think that was quite funny. But AJ and Troy swap positions. Tony has retired in the pit lane. We've got a reservoir in the back of AJ2 on those medium compound tyres, looking for his first podium in CRL. Can he get it? I thought the guys at the front had the advantage, but this time round, the guys who pitted on that first safety car have gained a huge tyre advantage, and now with the DRS enabled, the reservoir should get this move done. AJ's got DRS, but how hard will he fight against the Mercedes driver who goes alongside him now, up into P3? If Troy could stick in the DRS of Pease, would be beneficial later on in this race too. He'll be on the medium compound tyres. Pease will be the first to pit in this DRS train, I think, being on those soft compound tyres, unless he's got good tyre advantage, right? Unless he's got good tyre saving. And Bompier versus who is that? Ferg? Yeah, Ferg's on the old hard compound tyres. Nothing can do about it. Sieb immediately comes through. And Tony is not as happy in the chat. 2 retirements now with Julbream and Pyro. Nelly Safu side by side with Ferg, who's dropping down on those hard compound tyres. He's trying to stick out there on those hard compound tyres. Nothing he can do whatsoever in this race. Lap 11 out of 27 with Pease leading ahead of Troyer, Reservoir in third with AJ just outside the DRS range. Both Alfa Romeos had the advantage towards the start of the race. Now it's gone to people who've pitted on those fresh and medium compound tyres or softs in Pease's case. How long can he make them last? He can't dispose Troyer. That was very crucial for Troyer to stick with Pease, because every time Pease made a move, Troyer also followed through it too and stuck with him. So I think Troyer is actually in a good position, because I don't think Pease can get away on those soft compound tyres. I know they only 5 laps old, but 5 lap old softs, oof, they're not really that great. It's just more like a qualifying tyre than more than anything. But here comes Troyer then. Will he take the lead of the race? Yes, he will. For his return back to CRL, he is doing an incredible job as Alfa Romeo have swapped their cars around. He's up into P4, his ILT Leroy ahead of AJ. I wonder how close those guys were to the pit lane. In fact, past the pit lane when the safety car came out. Could they have pitted? Because when the safety car comes out loud, there's nothing you can do. As both Alfa Romeos once again side by side. We've got Pease versus Troyer. Pease trying to fight back underneath on Troyer. I think AJ's ahead of Leroy for the time being, so they're not. Yeah, they're just fighting each other now. As we got to Ferrari up the inside, then that is Sieb on Kenny. The Finnish driver is starting to fall down the field on older tyres, so people who still on older tyres are starting to feel the pain of it, with others being on the fresher tyres. And a sitting duck I did, unfortunately, there for the McLaren drivers. Ferg picked up a 3-second time. We can see they're all in this one big DRS train. AJ's lost a lot of time towards the top 3, but the top 3, which I never thought, well, I say that. I never expected, I must say, is elite. Look at this! Contact again! What's going on here, boys? Nice shot of 6 cars going through. Just saw Williams heart spinning, and it was just a concertina effect. I think a Red Bull of Safu has got damage then, so not the French GP I ideally expected to see. As Kenny and Julian make a bit of contact there, both ILT boys, of course. Look at that, ILT 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, AJ's in ILT, Chazza is in CPI. And here we are at the top of the field then. Oh, a bit of contact there between Pease and Troyer. Pease has gone back down the inside. Reservoir looking for a switchback with a decent exit out of turn number 9. Can he try and get Troyer? Using that battery is 2, but Troyer stays in P2. Those soft compound tyres are still hanging on there for Pease. But look at the straight line speed that Troyer's got in the slipstream into turn 10. Leo's retired. Could that cause another safety car? Which it has. Do you know what? I think that's good for Pease, you know. Into the pit lane on a brand new set of mediums. Can take them towards the end, and another safety car has been deployed in this race. And I don't want to see safety cars because I want to get out of here as soon as possible because it starts so late. But I expect to see P's in the pit lane. Yes, I do. Followed with Choi and Resify. That's a short stint on those medium compound tires. Leroy is able to pit now. Good for Leroy. He's essentially back in this fight now. People who stayed on the older tyres are now back in the fight because they'll all be on a brand new set of the mediums. I don't think anybody is daring to go on the top compound tyres. They can't go to the edge, surely. And Chazza and Bosch Evans and Cross Liam have stayed out there again. Both Hasses have stayed out there. We've seen what happens to people when they stay out. They drop down the field dramatically. Gives a chance to Sweet Card to catch through the field too, as he unfortunately had a second adventure in this race. What's going on here? Then Cross Liam is overtaking Chazza. Wasn't Chazza first? He was first, so why was he behind both Hasses? That's very interesting. But Bosch Evans is now the leader of this race. And look at this, Seeb is on a brand new set of soft compound tyres. Well, that's a very interesting strategy call right there from Seeb. 11 laps to go when the safety car comes in. Can he make it the distance? They won't be good towards the end, but that is very brave indeed there from Seeb. I'll take a short break and I'll be back with you shortly, so let's just calm it down for a bit. Currently it's a tournament, mate, not a league race. I just seen that comment in the chat. Short break is over, and now we're back to commentating live on board with Chazza, who takes the lead of the race after staying out there along with Bosch Evans and Cross Liam. So that's going to be an interesting strategy for them. What's going to happen to those? We've seen what's happened to those who stayed out there on older tyres in the second safety car. No, first safety car. Will they tumble down the field? Who's going to win this first GP? It's been close between Pease and Troye. They're now on the same strategy, essentially, on the medium compound tyres. So the soft compound tyres, a short stint, has worked in Pease's favour. Currently the net leader in P4, if I dare say. But it's been looking spicy in this midfield now. Leroy is back on the same tyres with the rest of the guys. Siebes on a brand new set of softs. Can he make them towards the end? Who knows? But we're about to see what this race brings us in the second half of it. I can't wait to see. So Chaza leads the race and he'll go whenever he feels like it. Now we go. So off we go then for the French GP. Second safety car has gone away. And Chazza leads ahead of Bosch Evans with both Hasses and P2 and P3. What's going to happen down at turn 1? Is anybody going to make a move? As you can see, Troye all over the back of P's, but he stays behind him for the time being then as they all make our way into turn 1 and turn 2. That's a Hass who spun! That is Bosch Evans who spun out of turn number 2. And P's is ahead across the into P2 it goes. Troye, like he did in the first safety car restart, tried to make his way through as Resify goes up the inside of Leroy. Leroy up the inside of Resify. Apologies about that, but look at P's then. As you can see, around the outside into turn 7, better tyres on that car, and he takes the lead of the race once again. Troye is in P3 ahead across him. He has to follow through immediately. What's going to happen down here then, as they all got a big slipstream on the Ferrari into turn number 8 we go. The double chicane across the sliding through there, and here comes Leroy up the inside. Here comes Resify on the outside, and here comes Bompia who takes advantage, and here comes Troye on Chazza. Both CPR drivers going wheel to wheel as we head into the flat out corner, turn 10. Now he's back with Pease. This is going to be a great race between Pease and Troye. I can't wait to see how it goes down between those two. Sieb in P7 on those soft compound tyres. And more battles going on there with Leroy around the outside. He's back into P3. Here's the Irishman, that Resify, tried to make a gain as well on the McLaren. And Chazza, the guys who stood out there, have all fell down on the first lap of the safety car restart. Here comes Bompia. Great move as well into P5, and here comes ILT Sieb trying to go around the outside. Desperate to make a move there is Sieb. So he goes up into P6 now with P setting the fastest lap. He has dropped Troye out of DRS range, and now he's under pressure from Leroy, interestingly too. So Leroy on a brand new set of mediums, punting down Troye, and Pease is constantly pulling away. I would love to interview Pease. It's been a long time since I've spoken to him as well, so if he wins this race, can't wait to speak to him. As somebody's following that, that is Chazza Kenny. And here comes Yulin up the inside. Borges him out of the way, says get out of my way, thank you very much. Kenny comes through too. I feel sorry for Chazza there, just dropping down the field. Nothing he can do about it whatsoever. Ferg is around the outside. Here comes ILT Leroy on Troye as he puts his Alfa Romeo into P2, back where he was initially before that safety car came out. So this is turned out to be an interesting race. Sweet Clan overtakes Cross Liam as we've got a multi-car battle going on down here in the field. This whole race has changed hands once again ever since that safety car came out. The second safety car, Nathan is in P10. Look at this, Nathan versus Sweet Clan for the third time. This time they make it out cleanly, unlike the last two times as Troye and Resify are fighting. Actually, Troye's lost a position towards Resify. So I wonder what's happened to Troye's pace. He's dissipated a bit. Did he pick up a bit of damage? I'm not quite sure because he was sticking the back of the sticking on the back of P's. But looks like he's struggling just a bit. Is CPI Troye? Looks like he was the one hunting down the race winner. Well, hunting down for the race win. But unfortunately, he's now dropping down the order, so he's lost some pace a bit. But ILT Leroy, has he got the pace to try and catch P's? Haven't said that for a long time since the season 5, season 6 days. As we all make our way down into turn 1 and turn 2 with AJ on Chazza. AJ under safety car went from hards to medium, so he's lost track position, fell down to P17. And interestingly, Bosch Evans stayed out there on all the mediums too. I thought he would have went to the pit lane after that spin. But both Hasses have dropped down to P15 to 17 as Chazza's at 13th. Only took about 2 laps before those guys fell down the field who were first, second and third. Now 14th, 15th and 17th. Can P's keep Leroy out 1 second range of DRS? I'll talk about Alpines. Sweet Clan has overtaken Ferg. He's back into P9. What about Sweet Clan? What can he do now with his second safety car? Remember what happened to Sweet Clan in the first lap and during the second safety car restart? Got wiped out twice. He got tagged by Leo, who is retired from the race. Both Aston Martins will not be scoring any points tonight. The P's looking for his first win since when was it? Season 7? I actually can't remember now. I don't want to guess, but it's been quite a while since P's has won a race, and now he's back into P1. He finished in P3 at the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, or P2. Can he go one better here in France? As you can see, CPI Troye is under pressure from Bob Pierre right behind, so Troye has started to lose some pace. He was rapid after the first safety car restart, putting pressure on Pease and keeping him in DRS despite being on soft compound tyres with Pease. Sweet Crown has set the fastest lap of this race. Looks like Pease is starting to extend his lead over Leroy. 2 seconds now is the gap between Pease and Leroy. Has Pease got this in the bag, I wonder? He doesn't want a safety car now. Wants to comfortably lead this race, leave Leroy towards Reservoir as Troye is hunted down as Taupe has got a 10-second time penalty. So what is he doing to get that? Maybe just cut the corner completely, but we got Bob Pierre and the other Ferrari making moves as we head down into turn 12. I can see Williams in the background. That's Nathan on Ferg looking to make a move. Can't quite do so as he backs out of it too. And Leroy on the back of Reservoir. I think those two are swap places too. So the gap is 2.4. I think Pease might have the comfortable win here. He's used a lot of ERS to pull away from those guys while he had the chance with guys in between on older tyres. Because in the first safety car restart, every time Pease overtook, Troye overtook and stuck with Pease. But now something's happened to Troye. His pace is gone. I'm not quite sure what's happened to him in the Ferrari there. Look very rapid as well. Doesn't look like he's got any front wing damage as Troye. All of a sudden he's just lost some pace. He might have slight front wing damage. You can see the understeers down the inside. He goes into the final corner, does Sweet Crown on Kenny. Great move from the Red Bull driver, and he puts himself up into P8 to Sweet Crown. I saw a bit of understeer as Leroy is so close to the back of Reservoir. You can see the gap was 0.00. I thought it was side by side with him, but you don't want to be side by side through turn 1 and 2. Everybody knows that. Looks like the clouds are gathering in too for good measure. Could we see some potential rain on the way? We did see Seam on the soft compound tyres, but we saw that at the Hungarian Grand Prix when he went on the soft compound tyres for about 15 laps, I think, before he pitted. Unsure how he made 15 laps on a set of softs around Hungary. Tyre killer of a track, especially the soft compound tyres. So it looks like the battle of the lead is over for the time being. It's just the battle for P2 and the midfield. We've got Leroy up the inside, in fact past him before the corner at turn 8 at the chicane. What about Sweet Crown? I think he's just overtaking Julian again. Julian was the one that caused the first safety car, I believe. I thought I just heard somebody breathe in the background there. Somebody in the party with me? No, I thought I heard somebody in the party with me. That must be going crazy. Reservoir up into P2 once again ahead of Leroy. These two fighting for the first podium of the season as well. ILT Leroy's first podium since a long time ago. Must have been back in the 2021 game, I dare say, with those old graphics in the standings. And Reservoir generally going for a podium. Great pace for Reservoir. Started P11 by memory. Yeah, he did. Good memory I have sometimes. Close he's got to a podium was at the Japanese Grand Prix, I think, last season when Jeroen Vissel won that race ahead of Walter and Relentless Nathan, who is not here due to obvious reasons. What he did in the Realistic League against Taupe. As Dragon on Speed made a meme about him. So the gap's gone up to 3 seconds now, so Pease has got some really good pace to just continuously pull that gap. These guys are stuck in a DRS train with each other. Nothing they can do about it whatsoever. I think because these guys are constantly fighting, they're stuck in a DRS train. And Bashi says, Eeny Goat. I'm Indigo, not Inigo. If you think I'm Inigo, oh, sorry, I'm not ILT any. I am ILT Indigo. As Sweet Clown is overtaking Troye, moves himself up into P6. Bashi, are you saying that Ennis has won the French GP in Tier 2? Because if he has, that's a great win from him again. As Troye coming back on the Dutchman, here he is up the inside. Into turn 10 we go. And Troye, I think he's got some monumental straight line speed. When it comes to corners like these, he tends to struggle. There's contact, and he's spun, and he takes McLaren with him. Oh, Kenny, an innocent bystander in that one. No way he could go whatsoever to avoid that one. And the battle continues for the podium pay positions as the goat ahead of us pulls away while he leaves these guys to fight it out for P2. Who is going to end up on the podium? Could be any of these guys. Let's see what happens. As you can see, Leroy turn off his ERS there. Just stay behind the Mercedes and wait for the straight. 5 laps left to go. Do you know what? Despite the 2 safety cars and the slight delay, This race has absolutely flown by. Might be a bit of a dirty race from other guys, but still, from a competitor's point of view, from my point of view as well, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I wasn't expecting Peas to be out there in front to win this race. Not saying that because it's just from hindsight what I see before the race, if you know what I mean. From where he started in this race, I think it was P7 or P8 he started, and now currently leads the first GP. And Leroy's up into P2 ahead of Reservoir once again. This battle for P2 will intensify all the way to the last lap, when these guys will have DRS and see who overtakes who. What about Seabody's soft compound tyres? Are they starting to degrade a bit, affect the Ferrari's pace? And here is the Red Bull looking to make a move on the Ferrari as they go wheel to wheel into turn 10. Sweet Crown has the edge on the Ferrari driver. Great recovery from Sweet Crown, spun twice. I don't think neither of his fault either because he got tagged by Leo. Like I said at the start of the race, is one way to make sure Sweet Crown doesn't win. But he'll try and find a way, Sweet Crown, no matter what. And look at that, the corner speed he has on Bompia. He's overtaken twice here, the final corner too, has Sweet Crown. Maybe more than that, if I haven't seen it on stream. Troye, where is he? Down to P13, he's lost a lot of positions as Troye, so I'm not even quite sure what happened to him. Needs to pay more attention in these races, as here is Sweet Crown into P4 ahead of Bompia with defence from him, as he had the DRS. And this is looking so good for Peas. The gap continuously extending, now it's 3.5 towards the rest of the field. No penalty, well he can afford a penalty, but I wouldn't risk it. A penalty, no penalties, no mistakes from here on in. Just drive it home to the finish line and you've won the race. Don't think he's got anything to worry about other than the safety car, bringing these guys back together, landing on the soft compound tyres for a mad dash all the way to the finish line. As we head down into turn number 8 once again with Leroy being the leader in this DRS train, defending from Reservoir. I would not like to be the leader of this DRS train on the last lap. Might get swallowed up as Trey continuously losing positions. I'm not quite sure what's happened to his pace. He just dissipated. Did he hit the car? Did he hit a slow moving car on all the tyres? And here comes Reservoir up the inside into 11 and into turn 12 we go. I love it when drivers go side by side through here. It's always sensational to watch around here when drivers make those moves. But for the time being, IRT Leroy, great defending, trying to get his first podium. I think he's only got one podium to his name, despite being here for seasons. But at least he's trying. He's doing a really good job. Leroy on his day can be a very handy driver as the gap extends to 4 seconds. So that was pivotal then for Peas to get his way through the field quickly as he could, through Cross-Liam, through Chaza and through Bosch Evans. Then once he did that, those guys were fighting in that DRS train, and Peas was able to pull away and build that gap over a second, and once he did, never looked back since. It's been a phenomenal drive for Peas. If you were wondering why Peas is first, he started down in P7. Yeah, P7. So he started down in P7. If you're wondering why he's leading this race, you might want to watch it back because it's been a crazy race, I must say. And Leroy as well, during that first safety car, he was under big pressure as Bosch Evans is retired in the pit lane. So no safety car, but here comes Sweet Crown off the inside into turn 8 in the dual chicane. Couldn't quite pay it off, and Reservoir got through, but Sweet Crown wasn't able to either. If Sweet Crown gets the podium in this race, that'd be a great recovery drive from him. Nathan lurking in the background. Remember, Nathan and Sweet Crown made contact in the first lap. They both spun together. Synchronized spinning, those two. Why have I switched on board to these guys? And here we are, Sweet Crown going wheel to wheel with IRT. Leroy makes contact with him, but luckily this time not in a spin. That could have ended so badly there for Sweet Crown. His podium chances would have been wiped out for the third time in this race. How is Steve doing in P6 on those soft compound tyres? Will he able to hold on? Or is those soft compound tyres able to go the distance? They should do. Well, I'm talking about tyre life. Their tyres will drop off dramatically. You can see Williams sandwich in P5 and P6. Bompia and Nathan. As we head on to lap 24 out of 25 then. Lap 25 out of 27, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing there. 3 laps left to go in this race. Who will get a podium? The battle for P2 continues to intensify. Hi, you roommate, how you doing? Nice to see you in the chat. Hopefully you're doing well. You've been quite handy around France too. And I know last night as well, I think you competed in that EML tournament thing. That qualifiers, the CPI Troy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, but Jeroen I wish you were still here in Cone. I know you did what you did on Nathan. Probably deserved on Nathan too, in Brazil. But anyways, it's done and dusted now. I hope to see you back soon. And here we are side by side with Leroy and Sweetcrown. Sweetcrown was boxed in there, making contact too. Ferrari's on the track, and Sweetcrown is up into P3. But is he though? Because he gets a bad exit, and Leroy now will be able to capitalise on that mistake from Sweetcrown. No, he doesn't. You can see all of them derating in this train. As we head down into turn number 10. What a great recovery drive from Sweetcrown. Remember, he spun twice in this race too. Sweetcrown spun the first lap in the first corner with Nathan. Then, after the first safety car, he spun at this corner with Nathan too, and Taupe. What a comfortable gap Pease has in front. Here in Alpine at their home Grand Prix, about to go on the penultimate lap of this race, you can see his rivals behind, all squabbling for P2. Hello Robert, nice to see you in the chat too, with an exclamation mark next to my name. Hopefully that's nothing bad. As we head down into turn 1 and turn 2, I'll see Julian's ahead of Steve. So Steve is starting to drop on those soft compound tyres. Maybe the wrong call, or maybe just doesn't have enough mediums in his disposal. So we're going to get feisty down here on the final lap of the race in the dual chicane or turn number 10, because turn 10 can be a handy place to overtake. We saw Verstappen and Perez overtake Hamilton and Bottas at turn number 10, I believe it was. Or Verstappen did it at turn 8 on Hamilton, but I think Bottas got outplayed twice by Verstappen and Perez. And here comes the Red Bull of Sweetcrown. Talk about Mercedes and Red Bull. They're about to go side by side into turn 8. Sweetcrown gets ahead, but could that be the worst place to get to be on the last lap? Rectify picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, so his chances of a podium have now flushed away here in France. Can ILT Leroy get his first podium since the 2021 game, I must say, in Cone at least? I believe he's got podiums elsewhere in League Racing, but look at this, Rectify on the inside of Sweetcrown. Could this be tactics from Sweetcrown, you know, because he knows Rectify has a 3-second time penalty, so could he put him in front to help him use DRS and not lose him too many positions? Because you all know what happens in the DRS train when you're in first of it on the last lap, and Julian's ahead of Nathan. Great drive from Julian as well, lost his wing, and that's why the second safety car was deployed. Yeah, commiserations to AJ there in P10. Just the wrong strategy at the end of the day. I don't think it was the wrong strategy. The safety car came at the wrong time because they were past the pit lane. The safety car came out, they were bunched up, and there could nothing he could do. As you can see, Reservoir's struggling in turn 1 and turn 2. Pease can essentially afford a 3-second time penalty, but obviously he's not going to do it. His race has been absolutely fantastic ever since he pitted onto those soft compound tyres in that first stint. Troye unfortunately has dropped pace as well. Troye was catching, but here we are on the final lap of this race. Who is going to be in the podium? Look at Bompier close to Leroy too. Leroy could be under massive pressure, but here comes Sweetcrown, here comes Bompier on Leroy as we head down into turn 8. But Leroy lays the brakes there, stays ahead of Bompier too, and that could be crucial, you know. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be Leroy or Bompier on the podium? It won't be Rectify because he's got a 3-second time penalty, but others have got to make sure they don't get a 3-second time penalty in the background. Nathan versus Julian, into turn 10 we go. So wheel to wheel racing, bit of contact too for good measure, and Nathan's just ahead, but here we are. Bompier looking to go to the inside of Leroy. Was that his last chance of overtaking, I wonder? Leroy shouldn't do anything silly here because he knows Rectify's got a 3-second time penalty. There's no need to overtake Rectify or make contact with him. Just stay there in P4 and you'll get a podium. But this has been a phenomenal race here at the French GP. We've got our new winner this season, and it's going to go to Pease, who wins the French GP for Alpine. What a sensational drive there from Pease. He deserves it. Sweetcrown, great recovery drive, and ILT Leroy is back up on the podium. Congratulations, Leroy. Absolutely deserved indeed. Finally back on the podium after a long time. Maybe not the race you wanted due to that first safety car coming out, and you couldn't do anything about it being on all the tyres, but still, a podium's a podium and you take it at the end of the day. Wow, what a race this French GP has shown us. Wasn't expecting that. But we've got a new winner this season, which is Pease. Finished in P2 in Saudi Arabia. I think he finished outside the top 10 in Hungary, if I can remember correctly, as Ferg is in the game chat. Wow, what a sensational drive from Pease. He thoroughly deserves it. And sweet crown 2 in P2. Great recovery drive from the Dutchman. Spinning out in the first lap, not to his own fault. And also, after that safety car restart. So I've invited Pease to the podium. Unfortunately, I can't do the rest due to the timing, but hopefully we can hear from Pease. Then we'll ride it off from there. I've invited Pease to the podium. Spotlight goes to him. I was about to end the stream, but Pease has joined us in the podium interviews. We'll start off. But Pease, that won you the race, the strategy call right there, mate, when you pitted on the first safety car. So I didn't see what happened when did everybody pass the pit lane when the safety car came out?
No, they just didn't pit, and I don't know why.
But that was the right call for you, because you went on a brand new set of soft compound tyres. When you were on the soft compound tyres, what were you thinking when against Troy? Because he was on the medium compound tyres, he could take his tyres longer in the race to put onto a brand new set or whatever you wanted. But when the second safety car came out, did you? I bet you knew that that's the moment where you could pit and potentially win the race.
To be fair, I was fairly confident I could, but it just depended on how quickly I dropped off on the softs, because the softs did not feel good after like 2 laps. But yeah, once the second safety car came out, I was like, okay, it should be pretty plain sailing from here, which it was.
Yeah, it was indeed, because were you a bit nervous about Troy in that race too, because he was sticking to the back of you once you made your way through on drivers on older tyres. So were you a bit nervous about him on the mediums?
Nah, I was pretty set that as long as I didn't do anything to myself, I was pretty confident that I'd win.
And when you saw that gap behind you for P2, I bet you were buzzing as well, because you knew that nobody could catch you. They were all in the big DRS fight for second place, and from there, like you said, it was just plain sailing. How are you feeling about this win as well? Were you expecting anything from the first GP at all, from where you started in P7, 6?
I was just hoping I didn't get penalties. I join and see where I finish. I don't come with an expectation, but yeah, I'll come see how it goes. If it goes well, good. If it doesn't, oh well.
Well, you drove amazingly as well. How does the win feel for you?
It feels good. Feels very good.
You finished P2 back in Jeddah as well. Hungary didn't quite go your way due to that turn 1 incident with ILT Frank, but you came back very strong in the first GP as well. So, seemed like you still got some good pace underneath you. And how are you feeling for the Mexican GP?
Mexico's the next race.
Yes, I think it is. I just checked the calendar.
Oh God. That's another one of trying to get as little penalties as possible, surviving, and then seeing where I finish. I have no idea what pace is like. Zero clue. But we'll see.
Fair enough, mate. Congrats to the win. Well deserved, mate. That was a fantastic drive from you today.
Thank you very much.
My drive of the day indeed, and we'll see you all next Monday for the Mexican GP.